Hello and welcome to the Artists Behind the Music. Today, our guest is Adele and Andy. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Great,
for
great to
having
be here.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about you. Don't be confused. They are not from the US. They are from the UK. Welcome. And so you're singing country music in the UK. Let's hear a little bit about your inspirations and what got you started and how you guys kind of got to where you are today with music.
Okay. Initially, really, we were our biggest inspiration, when funnily enough, was Fleetwood Mac, and we
Yep.
started playing some covers. Then one of my friends turned around to us and said, "Do you know what? Adele sounds like she's got a really country voice, and with your kind of songwriting, you really ought to focus more on country." So we did, and about 12 months ago, we released our first country track. And we haven't looked back, to be honest with it. It's a lovely community in the UK. Obviously not as big as in the States, but it's a growing community, and yeah, we're loving it. We're enjoying it.
That's awesome. Country music is such a great genre of music because there's just so many subgenres and so many ways to express a country song. And I love the country music industry. And I think it's so cool that it's really spreading all over the world in such a grand way. And people are taking their own interpretations of country music and coming up with some really cool stuff. So that's awesome to hear that you guys are into that. Have you always played together? How did you start doing music together? What's the story?
So it was Andy didn't when we first got together. Andy didn't know I sang because it was kind of like bedroom singing, and I had an app on my phone, and I slipped up one day and I told him, and he was like, right, and he listened, and he was like, we're gonna get you to go to an open mic now. It took 12 weeks of going to an open mic for me to get up and sing, to which was like, please don't pick on me after I've done this. Um, so that happened, and then I got the bug for it. I tried to work with a couple of musicians, but the spark wasn't really there. So I was like, come on now, Andy. I was like, you need to be up here with me, because Andy's always been like really into his music as well, and he used to sing in a band. So I was like, come on, come and join us on this adventure, and we haven't looked back since, really.
Yeah, I mean the open mic thing was because Adele suffers quite acutely, really, from anxiety, and going to the open mics, I kind of realised early on there's nowhere I needed to push her. It needed to be in her own time, and I think this particular pub was frequented by the same punters week in and week out, and they kind of saw Adele almost get up to sing, but not quite. And I think after the 12th week, the whole room went really quiet because they knew she wanted to do it. They had no idea whether she could sing, and it was like hairs on the back of your neck because it was so quiet. And then she finished, and the room just exploded, and and that moment I just knew that's what she needed to do. And yeah,
Oh,
as I
I
say,
love that. That's beautiful. See, I could just cry. I love stories like that because I think fear and anxiety is something that so many people suffer with. And well, suffer may be the wrong word, but just experience because it's a human emotion. And when you show up for yourself consistently like that, it's okay that you maybe didn't get on stage for those first 11 weeks, but to show up regular for yourself, I think is a really important lesson for anybody listening or watching to remember that just little tiny baby steps. You don't have to do it right away. That's not an expectation to, get rid of your fear with a light switch. It's taking those little baby steps to get a little bit closer to finding that freedom that's locked within us sometimes. So, what was like the tipping point for you to get up and kind of push through that anxiety?
I don't know, to be honest. It's hard because something will just click, and you'll go, I need to do it now, or I am never going to do it. And I was seeing all these artists get up, and they were all, if I spoke to Andy, they were like, oh, are you going to get up? Because they saw Paul Walker was the man who hosted it, and if it wasn't for Paul and it wasn't for Andy, I would have never have got up. So what Paul actually did is he was like, no worries, take your time, and he's such a calm, gentle person. And I was like, right, okay, I think I want to. I think I need to do it now. And he was like, okay, so he took me around a corner where it was really quiet, and he went through the song with me first. So then I got up. Don't get me wrong. I was like a piece of cardboard, and my shoulders were up here. I had my head in my phone and I was like not looking at anyone. So I was stood like that. But it was just, yeah, it was just one of those moments where it's just like something does just click one day. But it is a slow process, like you said. It is baby steps, and it doesn't just. I sulked more and more every time, and I kicked myself more and more every week that we went. And I was seeing all these musicians, and I thought, oh, come on, just you want to kick yourself sometimes and go, just do it, but you don't know what's stopping you. And then it just happens one day, and you go, right, now or never. And then once you've done it, you're like, oh, I was okay, I'm alive.
Right. I love that story. I just think it's an important thing to remind people of and to share. I talk about this all the time, but I had massive anxiety about going on stage when I was young and never wanted to go on stage and always pretended to be something that I wasn't because it was easier to not be liked for who I wasn't than to be liked for who I was at that time. And I think that's something that not only in music, but in so many different facets of life we can experience those feelings. So when we talk about them, it just makes it a little more human and normalizes that fear that we all experience. So I always love to kind of dive in and chat about those things because it's such a relevant worldly emotion.
Yeah, it's not really something that goes either, because I
Yeah.
mean, when we come back from a festival that we've just done, we had some photos back, and you can
You
see,
can
like,
see
a
it, yeah,
picture says
you
a
can.
thousand words, and you can see the absolute horror written all over my face on a few of these photos. They're perfectly timed, really bad photos. But you just learn how to deal with it better.
And
You
I think the live streaming that we've
Yeah.
done has really helped because it's a little different, when you're sitting behind a screen. But we had an experience last Friday, a week last, yeah, where we came on and we got like 70 people watching us, and then it went to 125, and then it went to 250. And I looked at Adele, and she was like, and we ended up playing in front of 2,500 people. So, and I said
Wow.
to her after that, that's 2,500 people. That's like a concert hall, So you going and playing a festival in front of 100 people, it's no big deal really. But it is for you, isn't
It
it?
is when you can
You know.
physically see them, because obviously, as much as the interaction's there when we're streaming on Twitch, because we're reading the chat and we can see what people are saying to each other. Not that everybody talks. It's one of those you can sit in the background and just enjoy it. But when you physically got those people in front of you, you go, oh, this isn't like FaceTiming someone. This is literally they're in the same room as me, because it's like social. I've all kinds of social anxiety and, well, anxiety in general. So yeah, I'm rambling now because
Oh, it's real though. It's real, and I think there is a difference between playing on live stream as opposed to playing in front of a crowd. And it was interesting for me going to live streaming. I found that more anxiety doing it on the screen because now I was thinking about technology. Is it working? Can people hear me? Is this all these other factors came into place? So it's interesting. We all deal with things in different ways and feelings and just the biggest solution to all of this I think is just to continue to show up for yourself in
Yeah.
whatever capacity that looks like, right?
hmm definitely.
So let's chat about Twitch. You've got some, I was saying your chairs look like rocket chairs like you're ready to take off to space, but those are your Twitch streaming chairs, we shall call them. How did you get into this Twitch world and where can people find you to tune into these shows?
I mean, I think probably what really sold it for us. So we started when lockdown came about. It was like, well, we're not going to do gigs, so this gives us an opportunity, a two-pronged opportunity. One, to get creative with writing our own music, but also allowing us to develop, together, playing together, from a live streaming perspective. But a friend of ours, well, at the time, really not that well known to us, DC Brown said to us, guys, you need to come onto Twitch because it's a gaming platform, but it's really growing, in terms of the music community. And we were horrified when we first went on. It was really if you don't know it, it can be quite
Intimidating.
intimidating. Yeah, you mentioned technology. But happily, he helped us, and yeah, before we knew it, we knew it was right for us, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's a great community where people come on and subscribe to your channel. They throw bits. They can tip you. They can request their own songs. There's hype trains running in the background. There's all sorts of weird and wonderful things happening here, but it's great fun.
You've got people coming in from like all over the world as well, so it's not just for us to be branching out and meeting them. Everyone in the chat is also like meeting each other. So we had people, was it yesterday night? We've had Vietnam.
Yeah, it's all over
we
the
had
world.
a group who were actually in the RAF who tuned in last night. We've got,
and that was lovely because they, you can imagine a group of guys in the RAF with the big telly, locked away somewhere, and they said to us afterwards, you guys have given us, have upped the morale and given us real hope, and we have a song called "As Much as I Miss You" that was dedicated to soldiers, and we told them about it, and it got quite emotional last night, to be honest, because they really. It was quite a humbling experience for us, knowing that we'd actually done something for a group of people who were really going through a tough time.
Isn't that a beautiful thing about music, is to be able to share an emotion and a feeling that people can connect with all over the world? It doesn't matter where you're from. It's that feeling and sound. It's the universal language, which I find so cool. And it is such a rewarding thing, as you said, to be a songwriter and to inspire and give hope to people. So I love that. It's a beautiful story.
And yes, where can people get us? They can get us
on Twitch, is that where
Yeah.
we can get us?
Yeah.
It's twitch.tv/Adele and Andy on Twitch.
Oh, excellent. Well, I look forward to tuning into that. I'm excited.
It's a really nice community that we're in. So yeah.
Excellent. And and it's live, right? So when days do you go on? Is it a regular routine or?
We stream every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 8:30 p.m. British Summer Time.
Cool. Okay. Excellent. Well, that's where we can find it. We'll put that in the notes so everyone can come check you out on Twitch. I love that. So you have a new EP. Let's chat a little bit about that, the inspiration behind it, and how you created it during this crazy time.
So most of the music that we'd done prior to this this EP coming out was very personal to us. It was all about our lives, and I think we challenged ourselves to do something a little bit different. So the first track, which is called, as I've just alluded to, "As Much as I Miss You," was really it was a Facebook article where I saw a mother sort of saying goodbye to her son who was going into the army, and it kind of got me thinking about, wow, how hard must that be? I have a boy who lives in America, and that's hard enough for me. And then it kind of evolved in the sense that I thought, well, maybe he's going to honour his father, who maybe got killed when he was a young boy. And I started telling you the story, didn't I? And you were just like,
it was like watching a film in my head. I was like, oh, I can see the mum like with the flag in her hand from when she lost her husband, and I can see her fixing her son's uniform because he's not quite done it right, and she's like, oh, I'm fixing it. And
trying to be brave, but knowing full well that, God, am I going to go through this again? And we both got really emotional when we played it the first time, and I think from there, really, it was right. We're going to do an EP now. We're going to tell some stories about things other than, things that could or maybe or are happening to other people. Yeah. And the second song, I'll just tell you about the second song, which is it's a song called Earl, and it's about a boy who works in a cotton field, and the boy, unfortunately, the owner's daughter has gone and got herself pregnant by another boy, and it's because it's set so long ago. She's thinking, well, how can I get out of this? So she decides to blame the boy for raping her. And unfortunately, because it's in those times, the boy gets carted off and he's put on death row. And the girl suddenly realises, wow, this has gone a bit too far. I need to do something about it. But as she's owning up, the execution's taking place and the warden rushes in to try and stop the execution, but it's too late. And unfortunately, the boy gets executed. And it's like, people are going, oh my God, it's like, it's real sort of stuff, heavy stuff, but people really related to it really well. So we decided that this EP really was going to be, talking about love and loss and one of the songs is about life lessons, and we put it all together to kind of gel in that way.
Wow. I feel like I just watched a movie, two movies in 2 minutes. Oh, that's great. And I think that's so cool to be able to put those kind of deep, heartfelt, emotional stories that really draw out the human experience. That's really cool. Well, it's great. Well, I would love to hear a song if you guys are ready to play.
Okay,
Okay.
are we going to do guys?
Yeah. So we're gonna do a song off our last EP. Our last EP was called Where I Belong, and it's a song called No More Goodbyes. And it's a song really. I'll let you explain because I've.
Well, it's a song of how Adele and I met. It's a song of how Adele and I met because we met in a pub. Adele was working behind a bar, and I think we became friends. And I think both of us, because there's a slight age difference, shall we say, between the two of us. Neither of us thought it could happen, and we kept saying goodbye. And every time we said goodbye, there was a sense that, do you know what? I don't want to say goodbye, but we had to because we didn't know and neither of us were prepared to tell the other one how we felt. And then one day we just went, "This is daft. We need to be together," and we were, and that's it.
I love it.
Thank you. Right. Let's put
Yeah.
our sleeves up. Right. Ready? It's got serious now. Traveling down this endless road, the only road I've ever known, and it is tiring, but I see you in the distance, your big blue eyes, oh they're glistening, and your sculpted like something on a Broadway show.
gosh, your voice, girl, is such beauty. It's so beautiful to listen to. It just like pulls at a heartstring that just calms the soul. It's so good.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you guys, that was amazing. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And your stories have been amazing. And I just cannot wait to keep tuning in and following your journey because I love everything about what you're doing. So keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Really
much.
appreciate you having us on. It's been lovely.
Of course. Yeah. Thanks so much for being here. I always like to wrap this up and you guys can each answer this question separately. But the question is, if you had one message to share with the world, what would it be?
Oh,
Be kind.
yeah. Be true to yourself.
I like it. Be true to yourself and be kind. Perfect. Perfect. And be patient. Be patient and follow your dreams. All those good things that we talked about today. Be kind to yourself. It's a super important reminder that we can all use right now in these challenging times. So be patient, be kind, and keep pushing through, following your dreams. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. Adele and Andy, sorry, Adele and Andy. I'm all caught up in the music. You guys can catch them on Twitch 3 times a week. So I'm sure there's a time we can all tune in to watch you guys very soon. Thanks again for being on the show, and we'll chat with you soon.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.